It starts in the year 2149, where the world was completely destroyed due to a chemical war that happened 9 years ago. As a result of this war, the world's weather system was completely destroyed, and about 99% of the people died 9 years ago. Due to which the cities of Grammar have become completely uninhabited, and only a handful of people are alive. Among them is a boy named Darwin, who is spending his life in a bunker after the war. Because the outside air is now poisoned, if he goes outside in such a state, his life can also be lost. So now, only this bunker is safe for him. Now Darwin follows the same routine there every day. As a result, he still wakes up and sits in front of his system, and he keeps watching outside activities. Along with this, he also messages his mother and says, "Mom, take me back." But like every time, he doesn't get any reply. And Darwin gets more pain from this. Now he thinks of his past and thinks of the time when he was living a beautiful life with his mother. But then everything was destroyed. And today, the memories of that golden girl don't even let him live in peace. Now he has no one to listen to his pain. So now, in the present, to reduce the burden of his pain, Darren goes to take an ultrasound shower, so that he feels a little better. But while sitting there, he completes many urgent outside tasks with the help of the system. For example, now he uses modern technology to collect some special minerals scattered in different places in one place with the help of some machines, so that in the future, people can use minerals to improve their lives. In the meantime, suddenly he heard a recorded voice, where all people are being reminded that the outside air is very dangerous, so no one should go outside. Because the toxic chemicals of war are still mixed in the air, they can die as soon as they come outside. Even going out these days is illegal. Neither nature nor the government gives permission for it. In between, while working, Darwin takes a break and orders his food, which is delivered to him after a while by a machine. Now, the world is undoubtedly on the verge of destruction. But the use of technology is in peak at this time. But only because of being surrounded by technology. Darwin feels very lonely, so he sometimes plays video games to improve his mind, or works all day. But now after playing games for a while, Darwin feels very lonely again. Anyway, now after finishing lunch he gets another order to work and Darwin gets back to his work. After a while he finishes his work, and at night he tries to sleep. He still has a hard time sleeping, and then I see that moment in my dream, when his mother left him in the cage for his good and she promised him that one day she would definitely free him from the cage. Then Darren got up very scared after seeing this dream, and in the morning, he gets back to his work where today, while working, suddenly his eyes fall on a dog that is roaming freely in the outside environment. But then he barks many times loudly after the lightning. It started to rain, due to which his machine stopped working and Darwin got scared and pressed the emergency button, but after trying for a long time, there was no response. Then, seeing the bad weather, Darwin realized that the weather would not be like this for just a short while, but for 2 days. And his oxygen system could also be completely shut down. As a result, he could have problems. So he got a little tense. Now, after a while, the same thing happened. Due to which, being in the bunker became a very difficult thing for Darwin. And since Darwin was experiencing everything for the first time, he did not understand what he should do now. Then, an announcement was made, where Darwin is alerted that in just 15 minutes, the air conditioning will be completely shut down, meaning that it is now going to be impossible for him to stay in the bunker. So Darwin decides to fight the situation and live rather than die in the bunker. And decide to get out of the bunker, which he had never even dreamed of. He puts on a respiration mask on his face, and staggers towards the bunker door. But when Darwin tries to open the door to get out, the electronic system does not work, which ends Darren's hope of getting out. But Darwin does not give up, and with all his strength, he finally opened the door. For the first time in all these years, he had stepped outside the 4 walls of the bunker and into the outside world. But now, as he had gone a little further, he got a warning signal from his mask, which was pointing to the fact that his oxygen level was going down. So Darwin started running towards the bunker again to save his life, so that he wouldn't die after being overwhelmed by the toxic oxygen of the outside world. Now, when he tried to close the door of the bunker after going to the bunker, it wouldn't close, which made Darwin even more nervous. Because in such a situation, the toxic oxygen from outside could get into the bunker. But since there was no other way out, Darwin immediately took off his oxygen mask. Because now he was preparing himself to die. But now, after a long time, Darwin's condition does not get worse. Nor does he show any symptoms of the virus. Darwin is also quite surprised to see that they can now breathe comfortably in the open air again. Because after so much time, he may have become used to the air, so now Darwin feels very good after breathing the open air after so much time. And since it has been so long, Darwin starts to feel that his mother may be alive. For this reason, he goes out to find her. Because there may be some danger in her mother. Because of which, he may not be able to contact her since then. Now, thinking this, Darren leaves the bunker. But as soon as he goes a little further, his legs start shaking. With a small break, he goes back to the main video. Currently, there are many platforms for online income or entertainment. But I will share with you today a platform whose official partners are Syria and PSG. Here you can watch live matches as well as play various cash games, salts and real-time games. It is very trending now. Very simple but quite exciting. There is a good opportunity for new users. If you register using my promo code MNDIT10, you will get 200% bonus, up to a maximum of 12,000 taka. Another good thing is that you can easily withdraw your winnings through Bikash Cash Rocket or Bank if you want to try it. The link is given in the comments. Register now and use the promo code MN10 to get the bonus. He starts to feel very tired, the real reason being that Darren has not come out of his cage for the last 9 years, which is why his body is not used to walking so far. He also cannot tolerate the sun and, after that, he starts to feel hungry. But now, thinking about his mother, he does not give up and keeps moving forward. Anyway, after going a little further, he sees a bird. He should be happy when he sees it. But Darren starts to get annoyed when he sees it. Then, when he goes further, he sees a machine, whom he messages his mother to tell her that he is coming to meet her. But like every time, there is still no response from his mother. So he gives up all hope and starts to wander in God. Suddenly, he hears the barking of a dog. Hearing this, Darwin chases after them and tries to find the dogs again. Then he runs to a green area, where there are many trees. Seeing which, Darwin's eyes fill with tears. Because for so long, everyone thought that the trees had completely disappeared. However, now, because of the long journey, Darren is very tired, so he falls asleep in the bushes and trees. After a while, his sleep is broken by the humming of many mosquitoes and the barking of dogs. Hearing this, Darwin quickly looks around and then his eyes fall on a girl standing far away named Dara. Dara is actually the owner of the dog and came there to look for her. When Dara sees Darwin lying on the ground, she becomes very excited and asks Darwin who he really is. But Darwin can't give him any answer. He just stares at him because Darwin hasn't talked to anyone for a long time, so he has almost forgotten how to talk. Although he wants to talk to Dara, he can't do it now. He starts making strange noises, which makes Dara feel like he is a dangerous strange person, so he starts running away in fear. Darwin also starts following him, because maybe Dara can help him reach his mother. But seeing this, Dara gets even more scared, so he immediately sounds the warning alarm, because of which Dara's entire family comes to the jungle to save him, who live in the jungles to hide from the government. However, now Dara's mother, Lillian and her companions see Dara running. They tell the children in their group to hide because Darwin, like them, can harm the children in their group. But now when Dwayne comes to them, their misconception is broken because they see Darwin's simple face. So he points to him and explains that this jungle is their home. But Darren cannot answer him because he only knows how to talk through a machine, which he does not have now. So Darren is a little scared and immediately starts hiding behind the bushes. But Leon asks him to come out very affectionately, and after seeing their condition, he also gives him food. Darwin is hungry, so he quickly starts eating the food. And now, since Darwin also starts trusting Lillian's family, he gradually starts coming to them. But even if he wants to, he cannot talk to them. But Lillian and his family talk to Darn. He understood that very well. He was also very happy to see so many people after such a long time. So he nodded at Lynn's words and tried to talk to her with gestures. And now when Lynn asked him to stay there for the night, Darn immediately agreed. He was sleeping on a soft bed like a human. But somehow he felt bad. Because he had to go from there to find his mother soon. Now the next morning, Darwin had breakfast with everyone. Where today, for the first time in his life, he did not taste tea. Which he quite liked. Lillian asked him, "Have you ever had tea?" Darwin replied by shaking his head. Now Lillian tried to find out about him. But Darn cannot tell him anything because he cannot speak. Just then, Lillian's son Stephen came to Darren. Seeing Darren's condition, he realized that Darren could speak. And of course, he explained himself with the help of a machine. Realizing this, Stephen asked Darwin to type his words with his hand. Just as he had done on the keyboard before. Because of this movement of his hand, Stephen began to understand the words going on in his head. And now everyone also knew his name. After that, Darwin began to observe the people around him very carefully, where he watches the children playing, their laughter and habits. He enjoys what he sees. But since this was new to him, instead of playing with them, he just sits quietly. Dara comes to him and sees him sitting in the sun and starts putting sunscreen on his face. Darwin feels a little strange, because it is the first time that someone is touching him so lovingly. But still, Darwin is lost in thoughts about his mother, about whom he knows everyone else. And Dara says you can leave whenever you want. Then when Darwin was sleeping at night, he saw himself looking for his mother in a dream. But before he could find his mother, the drones caught him and took him for an experiment where he suffered a lot. But luckily, it was just a dream. The next day, Darren went to the bathroom to take a bath, but since he doesn't know how to take a bath with water, he came back in front of everyone wearing his clothes. Everyone laughed when he saw that. Dara told him the rules of taking a bath and gave him old clothes. Darren also understood what he said and took a bath well. Then he got dressed and came out. Everyone was very happy to see him. Then Dara taught him to speak with hand gestures, so that he could talk to others easily. Darren also started to feel more comfortable with the people there. He decided to spend some more time with those people. And since Darren's attachment to Darren was now the most, they spent more time together. Darren also taught Darren about agriculture and nature. Now, due to being with Darren for so long, Darwin learned to speak a little. But now the words he spoke sounded quite strange. But still, Darwin tried to speak clearly. Now, due to his efforts, his relationship with Darren, Lillian and Bugged also started to improve. Then, he started to help Darren with his work. Darwin's helpful nature also brought Darren closer to him. He did not let them talk to each other. As a result, he realized that the two liked each other very much. Now, a few more days pass like this and then, suddenly one day a government drone comes in the sky, which Asha was recording and Lily and her family were busy enjoying. They were dancing to the music at that time. And Dara teaches Darwin to dance with her. In return Darwin teaches Dara some fastest dance moves. Both of them like spending time with each other and having fun. Very much so now they both go out for a hideout in the forest where Dara tells Darwin about her father. And says that my father has suffered a lot to save the family. Anyway, now, he is not with us but because of him. Our family is alive today. Saying this, Dara thinks of her father. Darwin also says this, I always want to be with you. Although my father is not with me. But, you must be with me. Now that Darwin has started liking him, he also says yes. Now the next day, when they are walking around the mountains, Dara finally expresses her love to Darwin. Darwin is very happy, and she immediately expresses her love to him. Just then, when the whole family is walking happily through the forest, Stephen suddenly hears some strange sounds. And he tells everyone to be quiet. But then, because of their noise, the drones there notice them. And following that sound, the drones start coming towards them. But luckily, before the drones get there, everyone hides in the rocks. So that they don't get captured by the drone's radar. and the drones move on without noticing them. Now, everyone else started to return to their homes. Where now? Another daughter of Lillian, Bed, was not in a good mood at all. Because according to her, the reason for the drones to come this far was Dwayne. Because they had not come there for a long time. Because of this, Beth got angry at Lillian. We are in all this trouble because of you. Because you gave Darwin permission to stay with us. And since then, a cloud of danger has started to gather in our arranged life. Then Lillian tried to calm her down, but she didn't know that somewhere there was pain somewhere. Then now, when Dara went to Darren in the evening, she was not there. Seeing what Da was scared, she quickly started looking for him. And after going out, she saw Darren standing alone outside. Darren very gently told Dara that, I am going back, because I don't want to put you in danger. So it would be better for me to go. Then Dara started crying after hearing this, and said that I knew that you would leave me one day. Darwin tried to convince him that it was important for him to do so. But Dara didn't listen to a word he said, and left angrily. But since Dara couldn't stop now, he met Lillian and the rest of the family members, and told Lillian that he was going to find his mother. After that, she would get over the dangers because of her influence on people. Now Lillian was also having a hard time with Dara leaving. But despite her unwillingness, she said goodbye to him with teary eyes. And Dara was also very broken when she saw Darwin leave, because of which she started crying hysterically. On the other hand, Darwin was now walking alone on the road ahead, where he kept an eye on the drone on the road, because if he comes into the sight of the drone, he might be taken away. Anyway, now, while walking, Darwin reaches a communication machine, where he inserts the key given by Lillian, which Leon gave him when he left the house, so that he can activate the communication system in their surrounding area. Now with its help, he contacts again, and they get in touch with his mother who still lives in her bunker out of fear for all these years. Knowing which, Darwin quickly goes to his mother's bunker, and keeps telling her to come out. But his mother is still very scared. She is afraid to come out. Plus, she still doesn't recognize Darwin. So he sends a drone to Darwin, so that Darwin knows everything about himself. Knowing this, Darwin's mother behaves a little strangely. But then she finally goes to Darwin. Darwin tries to remember everything that the pastor said, but he still couldn't remember anything properly. So he doesn't answer Darren's words. Then Darren goes inside the bunker and asks him for permission to use their computer. He shows him photos of Lillian and her family. But when his mother still doesn't answer, Darren starts to leave. But then his mother calls his name, and asks him if he's stopped playing video games. Now Darren is very happy to hear this, because his mother has recognized him and their old memories have also come back. Darwin goes straight to Dar from there, who is still waiting for him. And he is very happy to see Darwin. After which they both kiss and decide to be with each other for the rest of their lives. And with this happening, the movie ends here.